What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Fitment Industries Garage. I'm Gels, and today we're back with another episode of What Wheels Fit, where we go over what wheels fit your specific car. And today we are looking at the Subaru WRX, now specifically from like 2008 to like 2014, that generation of Subaru. So we're gonna go over both fitments for the narrow body and then of course the wide body that came on later in like 2011, and just kind of go over what wheels are gonna fit, maybe help you guys out if you're looking for a new set of wheels, tires, or suspension for your Subaru WRX, kind of help you out, guide you in the right direction, see what wheels you should be looking at as far as sizes. And of course, once you watch this, hop on over to fitmentindustries.com and check out all the wheels, tires, suspension we got available for your Subaru WRX or anything else you might have. So with all that being said, let's hop in to the first WRX of today, which happens to be a 2009 WRX. We're running some KONIG RENNFORMs, all right, nice lightweight wheel, 18x8 plus 40 offset, all right? So this is a Firestone FIREHAWK Indy 500 tire, 225/40, and we're still sitting on some stock suspension. So this guy went the route with getting some wheels first, which is totally cool. So 18x8 plus 40, pretty minimal setup here. You're not looking at anything like too crazy or wide. It's really kind of modest starting off, but you know, looks good on the stock suspension and the stock body. So if you're looking for something just a little bit aftermarket to swap out your, you know, OEM setup, this would be a solid place to go. Obviously, you're not going to worry about any rubbing issues here. Even lowered, I don't think you would really run into any issues as far as like needing to get your fenders rolled or anything like that. That's just a solid go-to setup. For the second car, we take a look at this 2008 hatchback. We got some Work Emotion T7Rs. Great wheel setup, 18x9.5 plus 38. So as you can see, going a little wider with the width, dropping that offset by about 2 millimeters, which means it's going to be sticking out about an additional 2 millimeters compared to the plus 40. Obviously, going to be a little bit more too because it's a 9.5 versus an 8. But some Firestone all-season tires, 235/40 on some BC Racing coilovers for the drop and ride height. As you can see, very good fitment on this car. Fenders are rolled. There is a slight rub at full turn. But those are the only real notes on this. You get a nice flush setup. The T7R is looking absolutely incredible on this car. Your 18x9.5 plus 38 or plus 35 for that matter is usually going to be a solid go-to for these cars, just kind of right out the gate. Like that is a solid starting point. Like if you want to clear some extra room for like a bigger tire or something like that, plus 40 is usually good. You just might want to double check on some brake clearance if you have like an upgraded brake kit or something like that. Take a look at another hatch. We have a 2008 WRX, ROTIFORM KPSs. Now this is an 18x9.5 plus 35, all right? KUMHO ECSTA 215/35 and some BC Racing coilovers once again, so quite a bit lower here, a little more dialed in with the fitment, getting a little more aggressive with that offset. Fenders are rolled to just make some room, and like I said, this is a very low static setup. You know, this is not something that you maybe might daily drive all the time. Maybe you will if you want to deal with it, but you know, maybe a little raise in ride height or something like that. But overall, that plus 35 pushing out just a little more, like I said, than your plus 38, a couple more millimeters, give you a little bit of a tighter fitment. And then to close out the narrow body section of this video, we're gonna close out with this 2009 Subaru and some Firestone Mark IVs. Now these are an 18x10, so going up to a 10-inch wide wheel, front and rear, plus 30. So not only going with the width, but an additional bump in the offset. Looking at a 225/40 NTOM tire on some Raceland coilovers. So as you can see, get a little bit of poke in the front, but they did roll the fenders, clear out some extra room, and we got -2 degrees of camber, so pretty much max out for the camber on the coils, just to help kind of make some additional room so we don't get anything bashing into the fenders. Again, a very aggressive style fitment. You're getting a little bit of poke in the front, which, you know, that's your style. Here you go. If not, then you can check out maybe something a little less aggressive, maybe plus 35, or again, drop down to that 9.5. So that is going to close it out for the narrow body. Like I said, in 2011, we switched over to the wide body. So we get a little bit different fitments. For the most part, kind of stay the same, but that plus 35 and that plus 30 become a lot more common. So let's hop on over to those. So here we have 2012 Subaru WRX, nice blue color. We got some ENKEI NTO3s. Now, I had some NTO3s in my FRS. I absolutely love them. They're a fantastic wheel. It was actually this pretty much exact setup. It was an 18x9.5 plus 40, like this car. HANKOOK VENTUS S1 Evo 2s. We got some 245/35s and some BC Racing coilovers. This is a fantastic setup. If you're looking for like a solid go-to setup, right here. If you want to go like maybe a plus 38, plus 35, by all means, you can absolutely do it. If you want to go, honestly, with this setup, like a 255 tire instead of a 245, you could do that as well. I think this looks absolutely incredible. NTO3s look good on a lot of different platforms, especially the WRX. You know, we don't have to worry about any fender rolling or anything like that. Get a nice flush fitment. Looks really solid. This 2011 is running some Ray's Engineering 57 DRs. So we got some Graham Light 57 DRs. 18 by 8.5 plus 38. Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, 235/40 on some lowering springs. So just some H&R lowering springs to get the drop in ride height. Again, looking pretty good. Very similar fitment to the last one. We're just going down in that width a little bit, but making up for it in a little drop in offset. So again, very similar setup. Maybe a little bit smaller tire, maybe just a little bit more modest, but still you can really throw a variety of things on these cars. There is a little bit of room to work with. So it really comes down to, you know, if like there's a certain size available, or if like the wheels that you want only come in a specific size, is a great way to judge it. Getting a little more aggressive, we hop over to this 2011 on some work D9Rs, and this is an 18 by 9.5 plus 38 Yokohama S-Drive tires, 255/35 on some BC Racing coilovers. Fenders are pulled and rolled to make some additional room. And as far as camber and stuff like that, nothing really specific here that they mention. So probably just the natural camber with the drop in ride height. D9Rs, again, looking pretty good on here. Fitment, nice, very nice. It's more, like I said, aggressive style fitment, a lot lower ride height than some of the other ones that we looked at. Honestly, I think it looks really, really good, and I think a lot of people would probably agree. I think it's a pretty popular car in the gallery. Great setup. If you want to go even a little further down that road, we get to this 2011 on some ROTIFORM RSEs, 18 by 9.5 plus 33. So dropping a few more millimeters in that offset. 235/40 for the Federal tire and some BC Racing coilovers. Again, just getting a little more closer to those fenders, dropping that tire size just a little bit more. You know, as typically you go out with the offset, you're probably gonna have to drop a tire size unless you're running like a poke setup or anything like that, or if you actually have the room to clear. Typically what you're gonna see. So again, another solid setup. If you wanna go a little more aggressive, here's a good example of that. And then for all the guys out there that just want to slam their WRX like on its nuts, we can take a look at this 2011. We got a lot of examples of literally everything in the gallery. This 2011's got some SSR TF1s, 18 by 10.5 plus 22. So pretty wide, pretty low offset. 235/40 for the tire, and on some Air Performance air suspension. So you get a lot of natural camber when you go lower. So that's why you can see with the air suspension, they usually get a lot of fender to lip. Fenders rolled and pulled just to clear up some additional room, and that fitment is hot. It's like damn near perfect for like an aired out fender to lip setup. I think this looks really, really good. This car is super clean. If you're looking, you know, bag your Subaru WRX, you can look at a setup very similar to this. And of course, if you didn't see anything that you're specifically like, that's the one I want to go with, feel free to hop on over to fitmentindustries.com, check out the gallery. We have over like 50, 60,000 cars. Mike, how many cars we got in the gallery?
51,000.
51,000 cars in the gallery as of this moment. That's absolutely insane. So definitely probably have something for you to go look at. It's a free tool to use. It's the best way to find out what wheels fit your car. And of course, if you're looking for wheels, tires, or suspension, you can hop on over there too and check out what we have available for your WRX or whatever else you might drive. So let us know down in the comments what you want us to cover next on this next episode of What Wheel Fits. I'm Gels from Fitment Industries Garage. We'll see you later.